Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. Today we learn the second Perek of Avos. Today's year is the Refuah Shlem Yisrael Rachalea Racha Bas Pesel Zelda Racha Eliana Bas Yor Bracha Rav Nishcha Berisha Chai Bas Tuabela Refuah Shlem B'Selch Shar Choli Yisrael and Shefer Bracha Bas Lacha Tzvi Noach Ben Bracha Rachalea and Azir Bekara for Shmuel David and the Miriam and Tzvi Ben Chana, and for everyone else who needs brachus in all areas of their lives. Here we go. Perek Beis, Mishnah Aleph. Rebbe says, this is referring to Yehuda Nasi, who is the son and successor of Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel, mentioned in the end of yesterday's Perek. He's called Rebbe because he's the one who spent his life putting together the entire Mishnah and teaching it to people. The Rambam talks about that in his intro to Mishnah Torah. Okay. So what does he say? What is the proper path of character development that a person should choose for himself? Any path that is a benefit to him and earns him praise from others. You have to find that balance between what's good for you and what's good for others. If it's good for you and bad for others, that's a problem. If it's bad for you, it's good for others. So there's also a problem. But you want to be in the middle road where there's a benefit to you and it's a benefit to other people. Be as careful with how you carry out a minor mitzvah, just as you are careful with a major mitzvah. Since you do not know the reward given for the mitzvahs. We're not told, in most things, we're not told what the reward is for mitzvahs asi and mitzvahs los asi. We're not told about that. And for different people, the rewards could be different. Could be totally different. Because for one person, doing one mitzvah is very easy. Therefore, his reward might not be so much. And for someone else doing the exact same mitzvah might be extremely difficult and he'll get more reward. And many other calculations that go involved, which I am not the Rebbe Shalom, so I don't know the whole calculation. But you never know how much each mitzvah is worth. So don't dismiss any of them. Having have said mitzvah connected schara. They calculate the cost of a mitzvah against its reward, and the reward of a sin against its cost. So, how much is it going to cost you to do this mitzvah? Let's say Lulav Hanes is going to cost you $100. Okay, you can buy it from me if you want. www.yitzie.com, yitzie.com. It's a plug for my own business, but okay. Anyways, so let's say you buy Lulav Hanes for $100. So it costs you $100. Are you buying $100 worth of matzahs for Pesach? Okay. Well, what's the reward you're going to get for that? The reward, we don't know what the reward is, but we know it's a lot more in value than the $100 you spent on the Lulav Hanes. And the reward of a sin against its cost. Right? So think about the enjoyment that we get from doing the sin and how much that's going to cost the person in punishment. Okay, see, you ate something you weren't supposed to eat, right? Some treifus or whatever it is, and it had such a good schmack in it that you enjoyed it so much. What's the onus going to be for that? The onus is going to be a lot more than the few minutes of pleasure that the person enjoyed from the tarvas that they ate. Think about three things you will not come to sin. I was in Shemas. Know what is but was above you. That's an eye that sees and an ear that hears. And all your deeds, both the good and bad, are written in a book. And as we know, That book is opened up every year, every Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and we're judged how we were throughout the year. We're gonna get a better year this year. It's gonna be more difficult this year. That's all. And ultimately that book is looked at again after the person passes away at their time of Patira. They have another judgment where all the books are opened up and analyzed. So everything you do is written down. Mishnah Beis, Rabbi Gamliel ben Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, Rabbi Gamliel, who's the son of Yehuda Nasi. So now we're going in the next generation. Okay, yesterday we talked about Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel, and Yehuda Nasi was Yehuda ben Rabbi Shimon, right? And now we're going to Rabbi Gamliel, who's ben Rabbi Yehuda Nasi. That's the next generation. Yafet Talmud Torah im derech Torah study together with a good job, with a job is good. Shigia shneim b'shkachas ava. Since the effort of doing both of them makes sin forgotten. You don't have time. You got to get up to go daven, go learn, go eat, go work, and come home. You don't have time to sin. The chol Torah any mamalacha sofa betela b'gores ava. But any Torah study that has no work with it will eventually cease and cause sin. And all those who toil with the community should toil with them for the sake of Shemayim. For the merit of the community's forefathers helps them, and their righteousness lasts forever. And Hashem says to the community leaders, as for you, if you do your work with the same time, then I will give you much reward as if you did it on your own merit. Mishnah Gimel. Beware of the government, for its leaders only befriend the president for their own needs. They appear as friends when it benefits them. But they do not stand by a person in his time of need. How sadly and true this Mishnah has been throughout thousands of years of world history. When the government needs you, then they're all nice and friendly. And when you need them, forget about it. Mishnah Daled. Hu haya omer osei asei ritzono kiritzonecha v'kadesh yaseh ritzoncha kiritzono. He, Rabbi Gamliel, the son of Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, used to say, treat his will as your will, in order that he treat your will as his will. You should spend the time and money to fulfill Hashem's will as you're spending it on yourself, and in return, Hashem will reward you with tremendous wealth. There's no such thing as wasting money on charity and wasting money on mitzvahs. All the money you spend on Torah, mitzvahs, and tzedakah comes right back to you tenfold. Because who gives you the money to begin with? It's Hashem who gives you the money. Yeah, you got to do the job, and you got to show up and do work every day, but it's Hashem who's making you be successful and is giving you that money, so therefore you have to. So don't worry so much about going to spend an extra couple of bucks on this. If you're doing his mitzvah, it's going to come back to you. It always does. Right? Nullify your will before his will in order that he nullify the will of others before your will. Hillel, going back to Hillel. Hillel says, do not separate yourself from the community. You must not abandon a person's community, your community when times are bad. It's only if a person shares in the troubles of the community when they come, then he will also share in the salvation. If we know, if you remember Machlon Kilyon from Rus, they're very wealthy, and they decided to leave town and move when the famine broke out, and they were ultimately punished. They died because they should not have done that. Do not trust in yourself until the day you die, because everyone has a Yitzie, and everyone can fall at any time. Yochanan Kohen Gadol, he was Kohen Gadol for 80 years. 80 years as Kohen Gadol. They didn't send the Kohen to catch him 80 years. And he, at the end of his life, he became a Stuki. Now, the different as to which Yochanan that was, if it's the same Yochanan, if it's a different Yochanan. But the common thing is that you can never believe in yourself until the day the person dies. Do not judge your friend until you reach his place. Do not say something that cannot be understood, assuming that it will eventually be understood. Don't be ambiguous. And do not say, when I am free, then I will study. Perhaps you will not be free. Don't put off to tomorrow. You can do it today. If you can get it done today, get it done today. Because tomorrow you're also going to be busy. Hey, who haya omer ein bor yarichet. So Hillel used to say, a bor cannot be a sin-fearing person. A bor is someone who's an amaret. He doesn't have any Torah knowledge. He doesn't have any good character traits. So clearly, a person like that cannot be sin-fearing because he doesn't have the information or the morals that prevent him from cheating and stealing other people. So then, how can he? Then that's definitely not someone who's Yarei Shema, Yarei Chet. Lo am aretz chassid. Nor can an unlearned person be a pious person. You don't know anything, then he might have good character traits, but which keeps him from sin. That he has morals, but he doesn't have any Torah knowledge. So his ignorance prevents him from becoming pious, because which means going beyond the letter of the law. Since he himself does not even know the basic laws, then he can't be a chassid. And if he's so unlearned, that means he didn't even have a righteous teacher to act as a role model, and his piety is best learned by example. Nor can a shy person be a learned person. You have to ask questions. You have to have the courage to challenge and to grow. Nor can a short-term person be a teacher. Nor can anyone who is too involved in business become wise. He's putting so much time into his business, he's not studying Torah, and therefore he is not that wise. In the place where there are no leaders, strive to be a leader. And with no one to get the job done, step up and get it done. Mishnah Vav. He also once saw a person's head that was floating on the water. We're talking about Hillel here, I believe. Amala al de atfis atvucha v'sof mitafayich yitofun. He said, because you caused the heads of others to float, others caused your head to float. And in the end, those who caused you to float will be caused to float themselves. Mr. Zion, Hu Haya Omer, Marbe Basa, Marbe Rima. He used to say, the more meat, the more maggots. Marbe Nachas and Marbe Daiga. The more wealth, the more worry. Marbe Nashim, Marbe Kshafin. The more wives, the more witchcraft. The Marbe Shwachos, Marbe Zima, Marbe Vada, Marbe Gezel. The more maid servants, the more immorality. The more servants, the more stealing. Marbe Torah, Marbe Chan. The more, however, those are all bad things. However, the more Torah, the more life. Marbe Yeshiva, Marbe Chachma. The more students, the more wisdom. Marbe Eitzah, Marbe Tuna. The more advice, the more understanding. Marbe Staka, Marbe Shalom. The more charity, the more peace. This whole list over here, you could spend like a month going through each of these categories, and you still won't be done. So we're going to keep it simple. Basically, the more you add on to your materialism, the more problems you're going to have, and the more you add on to your spirituality, then the more blessings you're going to have. Kind of shame tov, kind of us. A person who has acquired a good reputation has acquired it for himself. Kind of lo divrei Torah, kind of lo chai olam haba. And a person who has acquired words of Torah has acquired for himself the life of the world to come. Meradik. Rabbi Mishnah Ches. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai kiba mehillel u'mishamai. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai received the Torah from Hillel and Shammai. Okay, so Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai was one of Hillel's and later students, and also Shammai's, but mainly Hillel. And as we know from the Tishma Gemaras, that he led the Jewish people at the end of the second Beis Hamikdash time, and he was involved in saving Klal Yisrael and bringing them to Yavne, and meeting with the general Vespasian who became king. That was at the end. That was by the Chorban Beis Hamikdash Hasheni. Right. So where Yochanan Zakkai received the Torah Hillel Shammai, who haya omer ilma the Torah harbe atasi tov la'azmucha ki lechachna sarta. He used to say, if you have studied much Torah, do not take credit for yourself, because that is the person that you were created. That's what you're here to do. You're here to learn. Chamisha Talmidim Hayilo the Yochanan Zakkai ve'elu hein. Yochanan Zakkai had 5 outstanding Torah students, and they are Rabbi Eliezer ben Hyrcanus, Rabbi Yeshua ben Chananya, Rabbi Yossi Cohen, Rabbi Yeshua ben Esano, Rabbi Eliezer ben Arach. Rabbi Eliezer ben Hyrcanus, Rabbi Yeshua ben Chananya, Rabbi Yossi the Cohen, Rabbi Yeshua ben Esano, and Rabbi Eliezer ben Arach. Who haya Mona Shivchan. Yochanan Zakkai used to list their praises. Rabbi Eliezer ben Hyrcanus bore sod she'ena ma'abetiva. Eliezer ben Hyrcanus is like a pit whose walls are sealed with plaster, so that it does not lose a drop of water. Rabbi Yeshua ben Chananya asher yodato. And about Rabbi Yeshua ben Chananya, he said, fortunate is the one who gave birth to him, because he had such refined character traits, and everyone who saw him was so impressed by how he acted that they would say, fortunate is the mother who had such a son. And when she was pregnant, she would ask the Talmid Chachamim to pray that her child grow up to be a Talmid Chacham as well. And after he was born, she took the cradle to the Beis Medrash so that his ears would be filled with words of Torah right away. Since his mother played such an important role in his development, she was mentioned in his praise. Rabbi Yossi HaKohen Chas. Rabbi Yossi the Kohen is a pious person. Rabbi Shimon ben Esana Yarechet Shimon Esanel is a sin-free person. Rabbi Elazar ben Arach, Mayin HaMeskaber. Rabbi Elazar ben Arach is like a spring of water that constantly grows stronger. So, Harido Chalam and Zaka made two observations about his students. Who are you, Omer? If you call Chachmei Yisrael b'chapaz naiv, as he used to say, if all the sages of Israel would be on one pan of a balanced scale, Elazar ben Hyrcanus b'kashniya, and Elazar ben Hyrcanus, Eliezer ben Hyrcanus, Elazar ben Hyrcanus, Eliezer ben Hyrcanus, okay, would be on the other pan. Machriya eskulam, he would outweigh them all. Abashal Omer Bishmo. Abashal says in Rabbi Yochanan Zakai's name, if all the sages of Israel would be on one pan of a balanced scale, Elazar ben Hyrcanus Afimahem, and even if Elazar ben Hyrcanus is with them, Elazar ben Arach, and Elazar ben Arach would be on the other pan. Machriya is Kulam, he would outweigh them all. Okay, Mishnah test. Amalahem Su Ezu Derech Yishora Sheyidbak Baha Adam. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai said to his 5 students, "Go and figure out which is the proper path to which a man should cling." Rabbi Elazar Omer Ayin Torah. Rabbi Elazar says a good eye. Rabbi Yeshua Omer Chaver Tov. Rabbi Yeshua says a good friend. Rabbi Yossi Omer Shachin Tov. And Rabbi Yossi says a good neighbor. Rabbi Shimon Omer Haroeh es Hanolad. Rabbi Shimon says a person who considers the outcome of his actions. Rabbi Elazar Omer Leif. Rabbi Elazar says a good heart. Amalahem Roeh Ani is Divrei Elazar ben Arach Mitvarechem. So Yochanan ben Zakkai said to them, I see the merit of Elazar ben Arach's words over your words. For included within his words are all of your words. Okay. Amalahem. So Yochanan ben Zakkai said to his students, go and figure out which is the evil path from which a man should distance himself. Rabbi Elazar Omer Ayin Ra'ah. Rabbi Elazar says it's a bad eye. You should stay far away from that. Rabbi Yeshua Omer Chavera, stay away. Yeshua says stay away from a bad friend. Rabbi Yossi Omer Shachin. Rabbi Yossi says a bad neighbor. Rabbi Shimon Omer Halove ve'ena Mishalim. Rabbi Shimon says a person who borrows but does not repay. Echad Halohem ben Ha'adam Kalove ben Hamakom Baruch Hu. A person who borrows from man is like one who borrows from the HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shenem Alav Harash Allah Yishalim Tzaddik Chonin V'Nosen. And as it says, the wicked one borrows and does not pay, while the righteous one is gracious and gives. Rabbi Elazar Omer Leiv Ra. Rabbi Elazar says a bad heart. Amalahem Rabbi Ani Divrei Elazar ben Arach Midivreichem Shebichlal. Devarav Divrechem. Yochanan ben Zakkai said to them, I see the merit of Elazar ben Arach's words over your words, for included within his words are all of your words. Okay, Mishnah Yud. Hey, Mama Shlosha Devarim. They said 3 things. Well, Elazar Omer Yehi Kavah Chavecha Chaviv Alecha Kishtalach. Elazar says, the honor of your friends should be as dear to you as your own. And therefore do not be easily angered. The Shuv Yom Echel of Nemi and repent one day before your death. Have a mischamen keneged oran so chachamim have zohe big chaltam shlo tikaveh, and warm yourself by the fire of the chachamim, but beware of their glowing coals that you do not get burned. V'neshichas and neshichas shulam For their bite is the bite of a fox. The Hakitzasan Hakitas Akrav. And their sting is the sting of a scorpion. Ulechishasan Lechisas Saraf. And their hiss is the hiss of a serpent. And all of their words are like fiery coals. Yeah, so be very careful with that. Rabbi Mr. Yud Aleph, Rabbi Yeshua Omer, Ayin Hara, Rabbi Yeshua used to say, Ayin Hara, Yetzer Hara, Vesinas Abrios, Masinas Adam and Olam. That an evil eye, the evil inclination, and hatred of other people take a person out of the world. Mr. Yabez. Rabbi Yossi says he was one of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai's students, as we just learned. The money of your friends should be as dear to you as your own. Apply yourself to study Torah, for it is not an inheritance for you. And all of your actions should be done for the sake of Shemayim. Mishnah Yigimel. Rabbi Shimon says, be careful about reciting Shema and about reciting Shema Esrei. When you pray, do not make your prayer fixed. Rather, make it one of mercy and supplication before Kadosh Baruch Hu. As it says, for Hashem is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, abounding in kindness, and relentful of punishment. And do not view yourself as a wicked person. Mishnah Yud Daled. Rabbi Elazar ben Arak says, be diligent in the study of Torah and thereby know what to answer a heretic. And know before whom you toil. And know that your employer can be relied upon to pay the wages of your work. And the last two are talking about Rabbi Tarfon, who was another student from Rabbi Yochanan Zakkai, who was not listed in the original Mishnah. Interesting. Rabbi Tarfon, Mishnah Tezvav. Rabbi Tarfon Omer. Rabbi Tarfon says, Hayom Katzer v'amlacha meruba. The day is short and the work is great. V'hapoalim atzelim. The workers are lazy. V'aschar harbe. The reward is great. The Baal Habayis is dochik, and the master of the house is insistent. The Mishnah Tezayin, the lesson for today, Hu Haya Omer Lo Alecha Hamlacha Ligmar. This is also a famous song that they turned into a Mishnah. I'm just joking. They turned the Mishnah first and turned into a song. Hu Haya Omer Lo Alecha Hamlacha Ligmar. Lo Alecha Hamlacha Ligmar. Lo Alecha Ligmar. Bum, bum, bum. Rabbi Tarfon used to say, it is not a chiyuv upon you to finish the work. You are not free to be idle from it. If you learn much Torah, they give you much reward. And your employer can be relied upon to pay you the wages of your work. And know that the main reward of the righteous is in the future to come. If there's anyone that pays their bills and is trusted to pay the bills, it's a Kadosh Baruch Hu. He's never let anyone down. That's all for today, folks. We'll see you tomorrow for Perek Gimel. And have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining us.